Hi, my name is Travis Preston. This is an informative summary of the article titled Sea Level Rise Could Reshape the United States, Trigger Migration Inland by Caitlin Dawson. So I am currently a computer science student at Wayne State University. I've studied machine learning and have also taken several ethics classes on computers as well as other world issues such as race and ethnic relations. So just to kind of go over the layout of the presentation, I'm going to go over the purpose, why the article was written, and kind of generally who benefits from reading the article, what types of people. I'm going to go over the main points of the argument in the article, who is affected most by rising sea levels, whether it's the people on the coast who have to come inland or if it's the cities that are landlocked that have large amounts of people coming into them, whether or not they're affected more. And also what we can do about this and to kind of like be proactive and prevent things from happening. And if we can't prevent them from happening, maybe just making it easier for us when it does happen. And then we'll just kind of go over the takeaway of the article itself. So the reason the article was written is dealing with climate change, whether or not people believe in it, believe if it's man-made or not. This kind of just opens up the conversation a little bit and hopefully kind of opens the minds of people and helps them to understand the urgency of the situation and that climate change really will affect people in what is thought to be the near future. It is also trying to keep people informed, trying to keep people up to date on the issues so that we can, again, be proactive instead of reactive, which means, creating a plan, knowing the information instead of having to react to a situation as soon as it comes up with limited resources. So essentially people are going to be moving inland when sea levels begin to rise past the point of kind of being livable. And this is kind of a known fact and is backed up by machine learning, which is kind of a technical computer science term. Essentially what it means is just computers that can take data and kind of learn and predict things in the future based on that data. And 9 times out of 10 what they predict when it comes to things that happened in the past is that people tend to move inland. And if you look at this map here, this means people moving from El Paso to Austin, Texas. This means people moving from Laredo in the south of Texas to either San Antonio or all the way to Austin, Texas, or even from Pasadena to Houston, or even going as far as, again, Austin, Texas. And this is going to affect millions and millions of people if the situation gets bad enough, which is why there's such an urgency to react now instead of later. So the obvious consequences of not being proactive about rising sea levels is the economic downfall. If people are moving that quickly to inland cities, these cities are not going to be prepared. There's going to be a lack of resources, and essentially this is going to lead to a complete economic downfall. But if we aren't too late, if we are able to kind of build the infrastructure and allocate the funds necessary, we can actually create economic growth in these cities if the populations rise, because that means more workers, more people buying goods. It's not necessarily a good thing that climate change is moving them, but we can sort of shape it into our own kind of benefit, if that makes sense. So what we ultimately need to do is accept the responsibility of climate change, and we need to act now instead of later. So just to kind of conclude the presentation, essentially we just need to stay informed, which is what this article tries to do. The people that are affected by rising sea levels are not necessarily just the people that are migrating inland. It is actually more so the people that live in landlocked cities like Austin, Texas, which you saw on the map from earlier. And we just generally have, created an urgency here to do better than we have in the past, to kind of prepare using things like machine learning and computers that give us so much information about the future. All we really have to do is look at them and learn from them ourselves and make a good plan for the future.